All right, my man, we here with Eric King. This is part two to the interview on Knick TV, and we was talking about Anthony Davis.
Yes, I was saying, even if you bring in CP3, it does not stop the cap room. We still have cap room for one major star. We're looking to get one of the three, if we even have to, of Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and who's the other one I had mentioned? Greek Freak.
Okay.
Okay. If we don't get one of those three, our plan was to build through the draft anyway and develop players. Tibbs can take Randall to the next level. Some people soured on Randall and our group prematurely for one off season. You gotta remember, the Knicks came in with 9 new players on the roster last year, and we had 2 rookie coaches in Fixdale and Miller. You now have Tibbs. Randall did try to do too much. He had a little bit on that spin move turnover thing he did. But guess what? When you Google the turnovers of the top 5, 6 stars in the league, they actually have more turnovers than Randall. Only thing with those other star players is they got 2 or 3 other stars with them that helps cover that up. Other people can pull the weight. Randall didn't have another star running with him, and because of the reputation of the Knicks, everything is elevated more with us. Okay, Randall's game can be adjusted. Every year in the league, he averaged more than he did the previous year before, with the exception of last year with us. But again, he had 2 rookie coaches, 9 new players, chemistry issue. It was a team that also did not have an identity.
So you saying that you are pleased with R.J. Barrett and us not getting Zion? You happy with
Yes,
the R.J.
yes,
Barrett pick?
yes. I wanted Zion like a lot of other people, but I was also happy with RJ, and I know Zion wanted to come to us. If you saw his face when um, who got the #1 draft pick, he wasn't happy. He had mentioned he wanted to come to us, but so did RJ Barrett.
Okay.
And I think long term, it might work out better. You never know if Zion's body gonna hold up with the way he's built more for football than basketball, and at that height that he is, he has to go full thrust all the time. And with the injuries he's already had, you don't know if he's going to hold up.
Okay. Now, I forgot to ask you this because we were speaking of Randall and RJ. Do you think it's Randall's fault that RJ Barrett got snubbed for the Rookie of the Year? Or do
No,
you think it went to the person that should have went, Jay Morant?
it should have went probably to Jay Morant, but RJ should have been on the first team. For him to get snubbed, like Alan Hahn said on the post he's put up, it was ridiculous. For him not to even make the second team, I think he didn't even make. Like, what was they looking at? Like, you have to be kidding me. You know, and it's just another, I guess, hit towards the Knick franchise. I don't know what it is, but, he got snubbed. He definitely deserved better than that. And he should
Okay.
have more votes. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Okay. Now, I'm going to jump into coaching because we
Right.
already know we got Dibs.
Right,
And we already know what we went through with Jeff Hornacek
right,
and Fizdale.
right.
But Mike Miller, on short notice,
And Fisher.
Fisher, yeah, I forgot about Fisher. You know, why the players play, he played with the wives type shit.
I lost all kind of respect for Fisher behind that one, but
Yo, man, but Mike Miller, man, do you think he got caught at a catch-22 with him? Meaning that he got the short end of the stick. I mean, on short notice,
I,
he
I,
came from the G League, and look what he did. I think he came. We had what 17 wins, some shit.
I like
34
Mike Miller, but I don't think he's the one to take us to the next level. I think he's a good coach. From what I understand, they're going to still keep him part of the organization, right? Is he still going to be
I have no
on the
idea.
bench or one of those coaches that sit behind
I have
the
no
bench?
idea. What you do to him? You send him
Okay.
back to the G League to coach again?
That I don't know. You have to keep him in the organization. With experience, he's going to be a phenomenal coach one day, and I think he can learn under Tibbs. There's certain things, certain coaches that will attract other players to come, and certain philosophies, certain resumes you gotta have to really reach players. Like already, Randall and RJ's raving about the instructional things that Tibbs did with them already in the couple of workouts that they had. I mean, they raving about each other already. And that's another reason why I don't understand so many of the posts in my Knicks group about trading Randall when your coach that you just hired, that you're supposed to trust to coach a new organization, is raving about him. Let's see what the coach can do to adjust that turnover spin move. I mean, it's not many adjustments Randall has to do. Maybe better free throw shooting, concentrate a little bit more on long-range shots, and not handling the ball as much as what you're bringing in your dominant point guard to do anyway. That's another good reason for CP3. Watch how Randall will play with a caliber guard like that and a ball that's learning under Tibbs and CP3 if that happens.
So you think CP3 will be the answer? And
I
if
think
he
will
do come,
be a step in the right direction with what we have planned. I think he's perfect to teach the incoming point guard if it's not Ball, then whoever comes.
do you see a postseason with CP3 right away?
Yeah, because the Knicks can adjust. It depends what other veterans come with this. I mean, you never know if Morris comes back, if Melo comes with CP3, what veterans come that, you know, under a new coach, a new philosophy, more defensive grit and stuff like that. We were in a lot of games with some top teams in the league last year that we lost. I mean, we took some top teams and lost at the end because we didn't know how to close out.
Right.
So, you know, anything's possible. There have been teams in the league that went real bad one year and were good the next. This wouldn't be the first time that happened.
Okay.
You know, so.
Okay.
I mean, even with us, the 54-win season. We
Right.
were bad the season before that, and then we had the 54-win season.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. There came a time when New York City was high on these two players.
Right.
We thought they was going to come our way. They wound up going to the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm so glad they didn't come our way.
Are you?
Very. Now, I'm not going to sit here in front and lie and say I didn't want Kevin Durant before the injury. Before the injury, he was on my radar screen, and that was the only reason I would accept Kyrie Irving of him coming in with Durant, not him coming in while another superstar, because Kyrie Irving is not a leader. Now, Durant, I soured on him because of the energy and the way he disrespected our Knicks in a lot of different interviews and stuff he says, and it just shows me he's not built for New York because you took the easier route out going to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, he went off Broadway instead of coming on a Broadway show.
You come to Broadway, and for you to be the first person to take this team to an NBA Finals and win since '73 is monumental. You know, like Carmelo once said in an interview, winning one in New York is better than winning 2 or 3 somewhere else. This is a different breed. This is the Mecca. You know, so I lost all respect for him. And then another reason I lost respect, you had to go to a stacked team to win. You couldn't come here and now be the leader. You went to a team that had 3 other stars and had to win. You couldn't stay in OKC, you know, with the guard you had there, Westbrook, and win something and add people on there. You had to do the same thing LeBron did, leave to go somewhere else to a stacked team to win.
So is it safe to say that Kevin Durant, we might as well should call him Kevin Hart.
Yeah, because he's a joke.
Yeah, that fits perfect.
Yes, it does.
Kevin Durant, a.k.a. Kevin Hart.
There you go.
He in need of a heart. Yeah, Kevin Hart. Where your heart at, Kevin?
Exactly.
God damn. Is
You're
it safe to
something.
say that he don't have a heart?
Nah, he don't. I don't respect him. And that type of injury at his age, when you looked up the stats of it, a lot of them don't last a year or 2 after that injury. First of all, it takes 3 years to get back to yourself with that injury. You sit out a year. The second year, you're trying to get your legs back. The third year is when you get your legs back, and at that time, he will be 34. I don't see him doing much in Brooklyn with Kevin. I think it's the whole thing all over again when you had Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and all of them come where the Nets cleaned house to get certain people, and it backfired. I think that history is repeating itself.
So it's also safe to say he just robbed the Brooklyn Nets out of $164 million for 4 years.
Yeah.
His torn Achilles still ain't gonna heal properly within that time.
It's not. You took a big payday He took a big payday to come here to get their money, to come in the market. That also gives him more commercials and everything. It's all about him. Brooklyn's not winning nothing before the Knicks win another one. I don't see it happening.
It's good music to my ears, man.
I don't see it happening.
Good music to my ears, man. You don't
All
see
the
it
way,
happening.
baby. New York Knicks.
All right, man. Now tell me a little bit about the group and set the rules and whatnot.
I have a group called the Real and True Diehard Knicks Fans. The reason why I don't allow bashing in the Knicks group, because it's a group that was made to be a rally, support, and cheer group for the team. It's not about coming in there and creating a bad vibe. It's not about coming in there cursing, using profanity and stuff. It's a support group for the team, and many people don't understand that concept. You had in other Knick groups where people got in arguments in their group and they see each other at a meet and greet and they have fights. I even had to stop a female years ago from when people tried to jump her, a couple of girls and a dude in front of her daughters up in Philly at a road game. The group is not about that. One person go, I like Carmelo, the other one go, he sucks. And then they argue, and then we even meet in Morningside Park where we do our summer barbecues or Clyde's Wine and Dine. You know, I'm responsible for the group we bring. When you do something at Clyde's Wine and Dine, like another group that got in trouble, a fight break out, you break furniture, the person who signs the contract gets sued, and he gets banned from going back there. So to keep a lot of that down, I don't mind constructive criticism in the group. I don't like bashing because the group is not made for that. You don't go to a sports bar like Clyde's Wine and Dine or some other sports group where you go in there, everybody's wearing a team and that thing and going in, oh, they suck, they this and that. This is nothing different except it's online.
Okay.
Okay, it's a sports bar online. So why would you come in there and be a mood spoiler and come in there, oh, it didn't suck, or this one is a B, or this one is whatever name you want to call them. That's not what the group is for. It's constructive criticism. If you want to say Randall had a bad game, he needs to stop that spin move, or he needs to do this and that, or he needs to work on his jump shot, or he needs constructive criticism as well. But you go in there and say this one suck, or he's a bum and all that, we don't need that negative energy in the group.
All right, so how do you go about expressing oneself when you speak of a guard like Frank Ntilikina? I mean, I get what you're saying, you're making a whole lot of sense. But certain players, Frank Ntilikina, that shit don't even roll good off my tongue, man.
Well,
now, I honestly...
I respectfully disagree with you, my brother.
Talk to me.
Because I happen to like Frank.
What you like about him?
For one, if he was to get a little bit of a meaner demeanor, maybe under Tibbs, who can bring that out of him, and Woodson, who's an offensive coach, and you got Tibbs, who's a defensive coach.
Right.
If he scores a little bit more on the offensive end, he's complete.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for him. He's in a Knick uniform. But as Knick fans, you know we are passionate.
Right. But you got to remember his value. He plays three positions: the point, the shooting guard, the small forward. He gave LeBron and other top stars in the league fits. They were all raving about him on his defense. That's a valuable guy who can play three positions. When other teams go small, he can play three. And even when they didn't go small, he locked up LeBron good a couple times, gave him and some other stars fits. He plays the two, he plays the one. You got a great backup. If he starts scoring more at that frame and size, and you got to remember, he was 19 when he came here.
But you know what position he plays best?
What's that?
Team France.
Nah.
We need him to play some Team France ball in a Knick uniform, man.
But he was doing some of that here. And you got to remember, this is also a higher level league than France. Okay, the game is faster with stronger grown men here, and he's playing on the France pro team as a young kid. He's built for this. Like I said, we got to have patience. We can't expect a 19-year-old, he was 19 when he came, to already be in a new country, different teams, rookie coaches again. That's all we had the last couple of years. Even going back to Fisher and all of them were rookie coaches that we had.
Okay.
Okay, we haven't had a solid coach, like you said, since Woodson.
Right.
Okay, so when you keep having a turnover of coaches and different philosophies and the personnel players keep changing around you, you don't have chemistry.
All right.
Okay, you have to build chemistry. You have to build an identity. You have to get a coach in place that ain't leaving. Tibbs has a 5-year deal. He's gonna be here at a minimum of 3 out of the 5 years. You always give a minimum of 3 if things ain't working out.
And that's what it is, man. We got my boy Eric King on Nickavelli TV.
Before we go, can I give one shout out?
What's that?
I want to give a shout out to Craig Tucker for In My Life sports apparel. He's been a guy that needs to be on Nickavelli TV, this is one of the best podcasts. I love Nickavelli TV. Craig Tucker from In My Life Sports Apparel. His whole thing behind the Knicks and